Hi there. I want to give you a quick rundown on what happens after you have finished your annotation. With this assignment, you have done your listing of why I write, you've done some free writing. Many of you are getting your why I write, and listening in the dark essays annotated and submitting those annotations. So the next step there is to choose which one of those makes the most sense to you. As the assignment says, you're going to develop, first of all, a summary of one of those essays, and um, and you're going to do that in about 250 words. I'm not counting them, but you'll want to hit all the major details in there. And you do that by taking your summaries and weaving them together. And I believe I have an example in there. I'll make sure, and I will possibly send out an example of how you might do that with the message pointing you to this video. So you're going to summarize one of those three, and my hope is, and actually I know for a fact that if you look hard enough, and some of you won't have to look very hard, you will see how your motivations are very much like these three writers. They are not particularly different. You may think of them as great writers, which in many respects they are, but their motivations, their strategies, their rationales are really no different than you or I might have. So once you've summarized the one that makes the most sense to you, your job is to then write a couple of response paragraphs, um, basically, not basically, but indicating why it is you see yourself amongst their audience. So I want you to think very much about how you are either Orwell, Didion's, or Welty's audience, maybe all three, who knows, but you have to choose one. So what is it that makes you, um, among their audience as they write this? And also, and so audience is there, so that matters. And also purpose. How does their purpose speak to you? And you will have to kind of figure these things out for yourself. It can definitely be done. There's no magic to this. I've been having students do this type of thing for 20 years off and on, and it's there. In many respects, there's all kinds of connections you can make. Many of you will write in order to think things through, and in that way, you're like Didion in how she says, had I known any of this, I never would have had to write a novel. You might be like Orwell, who tells us that he is driven by some sort of a demon, and how every bit of writing is a failure, and that sort of thing. And so you might relate to him in that regard. Welty, you might be somebody who listens to the words in your mind, or listens to the world and captures the ideas from them. So lots of possibilities with all of the writers, or each of the writers. So see what you can do in that regard. So as you can see, if you're looking at the screen here, I moved the draft date from Monday to Tuesday. And you're going to want to have your feedback completed to others by Thursday, and then you will get me a draft that will be required draft 2 of 3 for assignment 2 come next Saturday. So we've got a week to get this draft. Well, really, you've got until Tuesday to get a draft done, get feedback provided, and we'll use the same questions as previously, and then you'll do what revision you can and get it to me for more formal feedback. So hopefully that makes sense. Essentially, you summarize one of the articles, and you give us a paragraph about what is it, about how the purpose of this essay speaks to you, and why is it that you find yourself amongst the audience for this essay by Orwell, Didion, or Welty. It doesn't matter if you do purpose first or audience first. Go with whatever makes the most sense. Just be clear about each as you open up each paragraph. And so you'll open with, the reason Orwell's, the purpose of Orwell's essay, appeals to me is blah, 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 or I find myself amongst Welty's intended audience here because of yada yada yada. And so whatever it is you think that connects you to the two, or why you like the writer you choose. So give it a shot. As with the first essay, we'll be going through numerous drafts, so we don't expect or perfection the first time around. Happy to see it, but remember that these early drafts are where you get to make all kinds of mistakes and missteps, and then we refine things as we work through the process. So as usual, if you have questions, let me know. Bye bye. Oops.